BetQL app.
Your Bet365 betting odds are with Brian Rocchio tonight, who is batting clean up for the good guys. Should be a fun one as we get ready to take on the Minnesota Twins in a 4-game series. Tanner Bybee will be on the mound, and it should be a good one. So today you got to check out what we had going on before the game. We had a nice line of people outside for Brian Rocchio and for the people of Venezuela that have been through so much over the last few weeks. And you see this line of people all there. They were hosted by Brian Rocchio, who had autograph signing earlier today at the team store with fans who donated to the American Red Cross Venezuelan Relief Fund. They got a chance to meet Angel Martinez, Gabriel Arias, Stephen Vogt, and Twins pitcher Pablo Lopez, and Carlos Baerga were all in attendance with their donation of $15 or an item for those in need. Fans got to meet the players and get a photo. And for Brian Rocchio, it's something that meant so much to him that the people of Cleveland and Northeast Ohio and the Minnesota Twins would all help out.
It was amazing. A lot of fans showed up today. My teammate from Minnesota come to help science. You know, like get everything a little bit to help my country. So that's really special. And I want to say thank you to all the fans. Thank you to Cleveland. Thank you to the organization to do that for my country. Besides, you know what happened in my country.
How have you been able to play the game of baseball and also think about and worry about what's going on in your country?
It's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, I'm trying to be out from the social media about everything passing in Venezuela.
What a great moment for Northeast Ohio. Oh, there's old St. Nick. As we continue a Christmas in July celebration, coming back, Tanner Bybee will take on the mound. Twins Guardians coming up next.
Was Christmas in July and the ballpark is bright. The Guardians are gathered for one festive night. Chase delivers gifts with each mighty swing, while Rocchio gives Guardians fans reason to sing. Goodbye! Unbelievable! Juan chases down fly balls like a reindeer in flight, and the pitching staff keeps hitters quiet all through the night. Then we yell from the booth with a holiday call, Merry Christmas in July. Play ball, one and all. And it will be a warm Christmas in July here at Progressive Field. Game time temperature 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies as Tanner Bybee and the Guards take the field.
Is this what Christmas is like in maybe Miami or parts of Florida?
Probably,
because if it is, I could see myself enjoying in a few of those. And Tanner Bybee is on the mound making his 21st start of the season. This young man loves to use his fastball. We're going to talk a little bit about that as the program gets along. But good solid start his last time out in Miami right before the All-Star break. 6 2/3, just 5 hits and 1 run allowed. Kind of the perfect guy to set the tone for this big 4-game series against the Twins.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Derek Shelton's Minnesota Ball Club. Trevor Larnach leads it off. Byron Buxton off the IL. He'll hit in the 2-hole. Cody Clemens batting third. Josh Bell will DH and hit cleanup. Then Royce Lewis, followed by the catcher Victor Caratini. Brooks Lee at third. Alan Roden, the right fielder, bats 8th. And Ryan Kreidler, the shortstop, hitting 9th.
Well, defensively this evening for the Guardians, you got Stephen Kwan in his 4 Gold Gloves. In left field, Petey Halpin in center. Chase DeLauder Manning right this afternoon. Daniel Schneemann, Brian Rocchio on the left side of the field. Travis Pizzana and David Fry making his first start of the season today at first base. And the 2-time Gold Glover himself, Patrick Bailey, behind the plate.
David Rackley will call the balls and strikes. He's the crew chief. Nestor Ceja down at first base. Willie Traynor over at second. And Charlie Ramos is your third base umpire. Cleveland comes in at 52-48. They have lost 4 out of 6 to Minnesota on the year, while the Twins come in at 49-51. Minnesota, as we said at the top of the show, 4 games off the pace, but 2 games back in the wild card race. Let's check out our Toyota keys to the game.
Well, it's the direction of Bybee. And what I mean by that is this. He's been working a lot on his direction, not only with the fastball, with his body coming down the rubber. Look for that tonight. Look at the fastball execution, because like I said, he's going to pitch off the heater. And we got to grind out some guards ball here. We got to get back to guards ball in general. Being pesky at the plate, continuing to grind out at bats, and find ways to put pressure on the opposing pitching staff.
This is a Minnesota Twins ball club that comes in leading the American League in runs per game. Just a shade under 5 runs a ball game. But with Buxton out of the lineup in the previous 9 games, that number dipped below 4 runs a game. So that speaks to the importance of Buxton and what he means to Minnesota. Trevor Larnach stands in. And Tanner Bibbee's first pitch is drilled fouled on the right side. Larnach was waiting for that first pitch fastball, but a hair trigger quick for him.
Well, I think these Twins hitters know Tanner is going to attack with the fastball tonight, especially early in counts. Going to be really important for him and Patrick Bailey to kind of navigate when's the right time to use the heater early and maybe right time to mix it up as well.
The 0-1. When we talked about Bibbee's start here at home earlier this year against Minnesota, you referenced the Buxton home run. That was a leadoff homer. Buxton was batting leadoff in that ball game. He's hitting behind Larnach here tonight.
Well, Matt, it tells you what Larnach has been able to do. That he's hitting 365 in Twins wins. And as you were saying with Buxton, he was leading the league in first inning home runs before he was getting hurt. So they've got basically their 2 best hitters going right now at the top of their order. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Bibee.
It's an early pitch comm malfunction.
We usually get this with a reliever, don't we?
Maybe he's got it programmed to Spanish. I don't know.
I didn't want to say anything.
Got the wrong one.
Well, let's hope he gets the right one, because we know what happens when you get the wrong one. You can't hear.
He still doesn't have one that works, or does he?
Technology at its finest.
It's amazing that we've changed this, what, 3-4 years ago, and no one wants to go down to using the fingers anymore.
It's almost like we forgot.
Right.
All right, Bibee says, yep, I hear now. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's up high with the changeup. So far this year, Cleveland has done a nice job pitching to Trevor Larnach in particular. He's 1 for 15 against Guardians pitchers. That was a nice cut fastball that found the outside corner. Evens the count at 2-2.
When you have a pitcher that can command that pitch on the outer third of the plate to a lefty, makes things very, very difficult. We've seen Tanner throw the changeup now a few times. It just basically opens up your options now to be able to execute with.
The 2-2 missed down and in, and a full count to Trevor Larnach. And the payoff pitch is swung on and missed. He tried to hold up, but he couldn't help himself. He chased one down and in.
Well, again, he went back to the cutter here, and this one was beautiful. You can see that ball spinning side to side. Larnach not able to hold up, doubled up on that pitch. They say when you throw it 2-2, you might as well throw it 3-2. It's exactly what Tanner did, and he executed it perfectly.
Now Byron Buxton. He missed the last 9 games with a right hip injury, and he took an aim at a first pitch breaking ball and missed badly. 4th in the American League in homers, as you see there. He's hit 2, including that leadoff homer against Bibee against the Guardians this year. Daniel Schneemann with a spinning throw to first. It was in the dirt. Fry couldn't dig it out, and Buxton is aboard.
Well, that's part of Byron Buxton's game that used to get a lot of pub and maybe doesn't as much anymore, but it's the speed element. This is an extreme speed power combo there, as he is an elite talent in Major League Baseball. And David Fry just wasn't able to corral that.
Ruled an infield single for Buxton, who has stolen 7 out of 8 on the year.
Cody Clemens swings at the first pitch and pops it sky high to Stephen Kwan in left field. 2 down.
Well, that was a big out. Clemens has been really good, in particular against the Guardians this year. Been a bit of a thorn in our side. Now Tanner with 2 outs has to go to work against Josh Bell, who again has been very hot of late as well.
Really good breaking ball in there for strike 1.
You could say about Bell. Usually he was so aggressive against us the last time, Matt. I feel like he didn't let anybody get deep in the count against him.
Yeah, he was jumping anything early. And he was swinging the bat so well.
Yeah.
He had that kind of confidence. You could just see he was seeing the ball out of the hand really well. And he was hitting a lot of vicious line drives.
I'd be surprised if we see Buxton run, considering he's coming back from that injury with the hip, and he got hurt again, running to second, trying to steal second base.
That has been an issue for Buxton in his career, has been the injuries.
With all the talk about the offensive numbers that Byron Buxton has put up this year and the resurgence of Cody Clemens, not resurgence, but Cody Clemens has just come into his own, really. Sure. Josh Bell leads Minnesota with 60 runs batted in. He's been the guy that has been their best producer in the middle of this lineup.
Well, if you got those guys getting on in front of him.
Swing and a miss. Another good cut fastball. That's been a good pitch here early for Tanner Bybee.
It certainly looks like he's got that arm angle, not necessarily where they were trying to throw that ball. But again, the good top to bottom depth on that allowed that to get right over the top of the bat.
The 2-2. Chris, can you differentiate? I mean, why does that cutter look so much like a slider?
Thank you.
And what differentiates the two?
I think it's all pitcher dependent, truthfully. You know, we used to do this with Clayton Kershaw. His pitch, you know, acted like a cutter. I mean, just it was harder. It didn't have a lot of depth to it. But in his mind, that was his slider. And I think that's the particular case here.
Struck him out looking. He got him with a fastball, a 2-seamer that ran back over the inside corner. Bell gave up on it. A couple of Ks for Tanner Bybee. And the Guardians are coming to bat.
So I have
veterans.
Stephen Vogt's starting lineup for the Guardians tonight, brought to you by Progressive. Stephen Kwan will lead it off. Travis Pizzana in the 2-hole. Chase DeLauder bats third. Brian Rocchio hitting cleanup. Reese Hoskins is fifth. Daniel Schneemann will bat sixth. Then David Fry, Patrick Bailey, and Petey Halpin hitting ninth. Now a resurgent Stephen Kwan is definitely applicable here. He has been on fire of late. A 6-game hitting streak coming into tonight. And 11 hits in that 6-game hitting streak. 11 for 21. And not only that, he's hit in 18 of his last 21 games overall, hitting at a .369 clip. And again, he's back in the leadoff spot, but Stephen Vogt told me that's not in stone. That's something that he will still continue to look at matchup-wise. But hey, bottom line is he's hot right now.
Right.
Why not ride the hot
Absolutely,
hand?
you take advantage of that. And between him, Travis Pizzana, that's a pretty potent 1-2 punch. At least in the sense of creating some havoc on the base paths. The average there by month. I mean, clearly July has been his best month, but he even said it himself. He's kind of going back to what he had done in the past.
Up high, he missed with a fastball. 2-2. So much to be said for hitters when they have the all-elusive confidence in their corner, and that's where Stephen Kwan is right now. In the dirt, full count. You can almost see it in the way he's taking pitches. You can see that confidence that it's not that he knows what's coming, but he's got a really good eye and knows where that pitch is going to end up.
He knows the strike zone, and he also is confident that he can allow the ball to travel right now. He doesn't generally, when guys struggle at the plate, they're trying to go out and get the baseball and trying to let that ball come back to you just a little bit. Let it travel so you can see that thing just a little extra longer. That's seemingly what Steven Kwan has done, and he's wearing out that left field.
Going that way here, but it's out of play foul. And you're talking about the difference. When you say letting the ball track deep here, you're talking about fractions of seconds.
Exactly. And I mean, we're going to get a great shot of this here. Look at how far back on the plate Steven Kwan's making contact. The other adjustment is he's staying on top of the baseball.
Pulls that foul.
You know, teams are really trying to attack him up and away, just knowing before, you know, he wasn't able to stay on top of that ball, and you drop the barrel below the pitch, and it's a lazy fly ball to left field.
He's making Joe Ryan work for it here. 9th pitch of the at-bat. And he pops it up on the infield. The shortstop, Kreidler, is called off by Trevor Larnach, who was playing shallow to begin with. 1 down.
Well, 9 pitches in, we are facing Joe Ryan, who is also making his 21st start of the season. And this is an elite starter. He does not walk anybody. He loves getting swing and miss. But this young man will pitch off of his fastball. That is priority number 1 for Joe Ryan. Has 6 different pitches he will utilize, but heavily utilizes that fastball.
Travis Bazzana was 1 for 3 yesterday against Pittsburgh and had 3 hits in the series, including the big walk-off homer.
Chris, you talk about that fastball, and they call it an invisible fastball, and they tell us fastballs don't rise, but his seems to rise.
Yeah, it appears that way to your eyes, like that one right there.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I knew you were going to give me this.
I know you're going there.
Yeah. We talked about this past weekend, but it's called induced vertical break. And again, not to get too crazy into too far into the weeds with it, but one thing Joe Ryan does is he gets down the rubber. His release is 7 feet from the actual rubber. So that in its own right is closer. That's good for 90th percentile in Major League Baseball. So where he's releasing the baseball in regards to the hitter is closer than most other players. Now he's got a really low release slot.
Bazzana lines it into right field.
But it appears that that ball to the hitter's eyes is rising, even though it's just staying on that plane a little extra, because he's able to backspin the baseball. But that's why these guys have to know the top of their zone today against a guy like this on the mound who's capable of utilizing that top quadrant of the strike zone.
Joe Ryan reacting to Cody Clemens' leap. He thought maybe he was going to snare that for a highlight reel play, but it was by Clemens. Now Travis Bazzana taking an aggressive lead at first. He's stolen 13 out of 16 on the year as DeLauder fouls the first pitch back.
And we've talked a lot about Chase DeLauder's swing. It's very unique. It's also very flat in the zone. This is the type of pitcher that Chase DeLauder potentially can handle because of the way he throws the baseball.
Well, Chase has handled just about everybody of late.
That's also true.
He's hit in 21 of his last 23 games, batting at a .337 clip. And a hard hit ball to second. Clemens bobbles it. He'll have to go to first to get the sure out. Bazzana moves to second base on the bobble. 2 down.
Well, that ball was smoked, to say the least. Clemens did good there of bodying that baseball up and at least securing 1 out.
That is the amazing thing about Chase DeLauder. Everything he hits, it seems at 100 miles an hour.
It is.
Let's see if they can make Minnesota pay for the double play. They did not turn them. Brian Rocchio having a solid month of July, hitting .283. 7 runs batted in his last 8 games.
He's been Mr. Consistent. And again, just the amount of strides that this young man has made in just a year's time, they're pretty impressive.
1 ball, 1 strike. season puts Cleveland on top 2-0.
But we just talked about the adjustments that this young man's made. There you go, right there. That ball was hammered to right field. And again, getting back to wreaking havoc on the base pass, taking advantage. Fantastic swing there by Brian Rocchio.
Something that was clearly missing over the weekend against Pittsburgh, that jolt.
Yeah.
That big hit. And they get it right out of the gate here tonight against a tough pitcher in Joe Ryan.
Well, he tried to go up top. He did. But again, it's all about knowing the top of your strike zone, knowing how high up there can you get on top of a baseball.
And now Rhys Hoskins sends one deep down the left field line and gone to the home run porch. Back-to-back homers in the first, and it's 3-0 Cleveland. Hoskins' third home run against Minnesota pitching this year.
Speaking of good swings, this is a hanging breaking ball. You think Rhys was ready for this one? There's a reason he's in there against Joe Ryan as a right-handed bat. And the helmet didn't think it was going to get used that quick again. Look at that. He's able to stay behind that baseball. Kept it fair. Great swing.
Wow, look at that ball landed. You talk about,
That was way back.
you hear the term. He clipped it. That right there was the perfect illustration visually of how Rhys Hoskins clipped that ball from Joe Ryan.
Well, they say you hang it, we bang it. The hangers go further than any other pitch.
Yeah, when the ball meets the perfect swing path, the bat usually wins.
The bat usually wins.
3-0 Guardians. Daniel Schneemann down on the count 1-2 with 2 down here in the first. Big boy ball from the Guardians here in inning number 1. Rocchio and Hoskins go back to back, and the Guardians strike first. They lead it 3-0.
Score big with
Tanner Bybee working with an early lead will face Royce Lewis to start the second inning. Bybee struck out a pair in the first. And what we saw in that first inning from Tanner Bybee was his mixing the fastball usage. And sometimes I think we think fastball, you think you just rear back and throw it as hard as you can, trying to hit a spot. But as technology has helped players, in particular pitchers, on the field, it's also helped us explain and describe things here in the TV booth. And we can actually kind of show you the difference between a 4-seam fastball, Bybee's 2-seam fastball, and then that cutter, and what that looks like maybe for the hitter to try and discern which one is it.
Which is really difficult when you're throwing 95+ miles an hour. Plus knowing you've got any sort of breaking ball to go along with it. It's something that as a hitter you have to not only differentiate which type of fastball is it, the speed difference. The 4-seam fastball, the one he backspins, is probably the hardest one he throws. That's the sinker. He's can run that up there to 94, 95 as well. And then the cutter is either in the low 90s or the very high 80s. And all three of those pitches move completely different.
The 3-1. And that's ball 4. First walk issued by Bybee.
Well, that's the sinker right there. Now here comes the cutter. Okay, this is the 4-seam fastball. You can see those 3 pitches do 3 separate things. Now look, we got a nice overlay here of all 3 of them. You can see they all come out of the same spot, and look at the direction that they go. They say hitting's easy until you see that coming at you at 95 to 100.
Now Victor Caratini, the switch hitting catcher. And he starts him off with a good curveball that is challenged by Patrick Bailey.
Pitcher throw the ball, the catcher's challenging.
It looked like a good pitch. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
All right.
And it is in fact a strike. Barely.
Strike counts 0-1. Cleveland has 2 challenges remaining.
There's the two-seam fastball. Tried to run it back over the inside corner, and that missed by, again, the smallest of margins.
And that's where we've talked about the direction of Tanner Bybee. He has to stay behind that ball and really drive it to that side of the plate.
In the air to left, Kwan going back, and just shy of the track makes the catch. One away. Well, StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Let's take a look at how Tanner Bybee got his outs against Minnesota in his last start.
And you can see a couple of changeups there, a lot of the sinkers, mixing in that cutter and four seam, and you can just see how important those 3 different fastballs.
Well, three of those pitches could not have been put in play. Those had to be swings and misses.
Trust me, I've tried to put those pitches in play before.
Here's Brooks Lee, swing and a miss.
And that was a great sinker. That's staying behind it and driving it to the location you're trying to go. Again, that sinker is a pitch that Tanner hasn't always thrown, at least at the big league level. He's starting to mix it in a lot more as he gets more and more comfortable with it.
Brooks Lee has swung the bat well against Cleveland. He's 7 for 25 this year. Comes in having hit in 3 straight games. Earlier this month, he had an 8-game hitting streak. Talked over the weekend about Pittsburgh's lineup and how up and down that lineup, so much consistent production from 1 through 9. The Twins aren't quite as deep as Pittsburgh's lineup is, but they do have some guys sprinkled throughout the lineup that have given them the kind of production that has enabled them to be the top scoring team in the league. Liner to right. The water trying to scoop it. It gets by him, and this is trouble. That's going to get a run home. Brooks Lee's going to hit second. He's going to go for 3, and he'll make it without a throw. So an RBI triple gets Minnesota on the board. It's 3-1 here in the second.
This is a tough play for Chase regardless. This may be one of those low liners that might have been better off trying to play it just on a long hop or on a hop in general. You know, full well knowing if you're running in like that, that's a very risky play, because if that ball does get by you, now you see Royce Lewis easily scoring from first base on that. And Brooks Lee now at third.
Third triple of the year for Brooks Lee. And once again, the PitchCom device has malfunctioned for Tanner Bybee. Second time in as many innings he's had to get a new device. We'll get a word right here from Cleveland Clinic.
When you make complexities your specialties, you redefine what's possible. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
One out, runner at third. Guardians play the infield back with the exception of Daniel Schneemann, who's even with the bag at third.
Again, with a 3-1 lead right here, playing the infield back makes a lot of sense. You'll trade it out for a run. That may change though as you see this count change. 2 strikes. There's a chance that you can see that infield pulled back in.
Plenty deep enough. Halpin going back. He'll make the catch. Tagging up and coming home is Brooks Lee, and it's a 1-run game. Minnesota able to answer right back Two down, bases empty, and Ryan Kreidler coming to the plate. Whether it's running the bases or playing defense, there's a fine line between being aggressive and I guess being reckless.
Well, again, it's hard. I mean, this is a young group of players, right? And you want them to be aggressive. You don't want those guys to lose what made them good in the first place. It's knowing the situation of the game and learning how to kind of tame that aggressiveness, understanding when's the right situation to be aggressive and maybe when's the right situation to, you know, maybe pull back or play something back. And again, sometimes you have to make those mistakes, and it's unfortunate that it has to happen here, but you have to make those mistakes to learn from stuff like that.
It's the best teacher of all. And a close pitch, but not a strike. 1-2, at least it wasn't called.
Yeah,
it might have been had he challenged, but I'm not sure Bailey had that good a look at it. Not like he did on that previous pitch that he did challenge. Looking. Two-seam fastball rings him up. Third strikeout for Bobby, but the Twins answer back. Middle of the second, 3-2 Cleveland. Guardians TV is presented by Progressive. Well, for Joe Ryan, after giving up 3 runs on back-to-back homers in the first inning, he's got to feel a whole lot better about himself after the Twins were able to come back and put 2 on the board. David Fry leads off the home half of the second. And a foul right back, Chris.
Almost.
He almost lost a finger, too.
No way. Man, that was close.
No,
it didn't hit the finger, so I can't say that it hit my hand. I should catch it.
And the window didn't break.
And the window did not break.
Coming right at him.
Oh.
Hey, Chris, good try.
You're going to lose a finger.
No chance.
David Fry hits a high fly ball to right field. Roden over near the line, and he leaps up and makes the catch. 1 down here in the second on a terrific play by Roden. He never gave up on it.
Well, that was a fantastic play by Roden. He got himself to the fence. You can see, take a peek, know where you're at on the field, go up there and make the nice grab.
One down for Patrick Bailey. Bailey smacks it into center field. 4th hit for the Guardians, first time through the order off Joe Ryan.
It's got to be a good sign because we've seen Joe Ryan go through a lineup
there you go
2 or 3 times without us getting a hit.
I was thinking the same thing.
And Bailey just looks like a completely different hitter than the hitter we saw that first got here from the Giants.
I mean, it was a matter of time before, you know, he settles in. But we talked about this earlier. Getting out of San Francisco.
Yeah. The mental aspect is real.
The mental aspect is real.
Petey Halpin has hit in 4 straight games. You know, you think about some of the swings we saw him take against Pittsburgh. If he keeps that sort of flat swing approach, trying to stay up the middle opposite way.
That's the key.
He might match up well against Joe Ryan.
It's trying to stay up the middle.
Well, he made changes in the offseason, Chris, to his swing. His first time to the big leagues, kind of taught him.
That's hit well. Deep right center field. Roden back. He is going to wave goodbye. Third home run of the night for the Guardians. Petey Halpin's first in the bigs. It's a 2-run shot off Joe Ryan. And a 5-2 Cleveland lead.
Well, Andre, those swing changes worked. How about that? Petey Halpin, maybe not known for his prestigious power, but that was one heck of a swing off a pitcher that, in this ballpark in particular, has been very difficult to hit in. And that homer helmet's getting some use today, boys.
And now Stephen Kwan takes a strike.
Well, this is a split, it looked like, that just kind of stayed up. Petey knew he got it. He hit it well. But again, it's staying to that big part of the field.
Well, 2 guys at the bottom of the order, Bailey and Halpin, riding some confidence.
I mean, you know, you think about it. We just talked about it all series long with Pittsburgh. How good the bottom half of their lineup was. And what makes that lineup so hard to pitch to is those last 3 guys finding a way to turn it back over or flip it back over to the top.
And now Kwan sends one to left. Back goes Larnach. 2 away.
Just look how compact he stays. Bring the hands in there. Keep the barrel behind the baseball, but you can tell he's not trying to pull that ball.
And you can
see his face.
Knew he got it.
He goes, oh.
That's what that barrel feels like. 2 down, Travis Bassano. He smoked the ball his first time up on line drive over the head of Cody Clemens at second base.
And I noticed he changed his walk-up song.
It happens occasionally sometimes.
It certainly does.
Especially during a homestand if things don't go the way you want them to.
Which I am all for.
Joe Ryan had given up just 10 home runs in his first 20 starts on the year. And the Guardians have tagged him for 3 in the first 2 innings.
His road ERA this year is a pristine 2.47, while his home ERA is a 3.19. Not much worse, to be honest, but has been a much better pitcher, to say the least, on the road. It looks like we may have some sort of a negotiation going on here.
Come on, we don't negotiate that. Just the kids first. Ah, good work.
Well, somebody's getting something signed by Hosey.
I thought they were going to ask for something from Chris.
No.
Hey, they want one of your bats.
There might still be a few back there.
Not broken yet?
Well, they didn't work as good now, I guess, as they didn't work then, so.
There's another one. Go ball. It is gone. It's a 4-homer night for Cleveland as they have battered Joe Ryan here in the early going.
How about that? What a swing here as well. Again, trying to attack that top part of the strike zone. Joe Ryan just doesn't have that same carry so far this evening. And these boys are ready to attack.
Chase Delauder takes a breaking ball down and in. Joe Ryan has given up 5 home runs in a game twice in his career. The last time was against St. Louis 3 years ago. 1 home run more for Cleveland, and they will equal that. Delauder fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, I do want to bring this up. Earlier today, before batting practice, a few of these guys were out here with the machine set up in what my opinion was at the release height of what Joe Ryan would be. We've talked a lot about how his fastball plays and how much he likes to utilize it. These guys getting a little extra work on that velo, four-seam velo at the top part of the strike zone.
Well, they've been ready for it tonight.
Yes, they have.
Chase DeLauder with a rocket to second base that went for a ground out in the first. But as I said at the time, the double plays you do not turn can sometimes come back to haunt you. It was not an easy play by any means because it was hit very hard. But I'm sure Cody Clemens was kicking himself because had he fielded it cleanly, it's an easy double play and they're out of the inning. What happened afterwards? Back-to-back home runs.
One other thing,
Cleveland's off and running.
One other thing I'd add to that, Matt, because you're right about that play. But go back to the leadoff at bat by Quan. Didn't have anything to show for it other than a fly out to left field, but I believe it was a 9-pitch at bat.
Right.
That started things off correctly for this team.
Down low, good take by DeLauder, full count.
And really, that's deja vu for the Twins because yesterday in Chicago, Sebby Matthews, who started for him, ended up having a 9-pitch and then a 10-pitch at bat against the Cubs, and then he ended up giving up a home run to Alex Bregman. So they're probably going not again.
DeLauder drills it into right field. And the Guardians have hit everything Joe Ryan has thrown at them tonight, and they've hit it hard. And here comes the pitching coach, Pete Mackey. He's telling Derek Shelton as he goes by him, I'm not sure what I'm going to say.
That's probably just another ball over 100 miles an hour off the bat, I would guess, Chris.
I'm still waiting for it to come up, but I think you're right.
I mean, he hits everything. I thought about that the other night when you guys were doing the game, and he had to hit late in the game against Pittsburgh. That snuck through first and second. That was 101 off the bat.
Yes, it was.
It's a normal ground ball.
But again, it just shows you how elite he is. Funny enough,
under 100.
That ball, under 100.
89.
I better see a thumb down.
Yeah, I want to get that recalculated. That seemed harder than 89 to me.
Sounded good.
Yes, it did. The result was good, too.
Yeah, here's Brian Rocchio now. Brian Rocchio, he jumped that fastball in the first inning. Immediately after, DeLauder's hard-hit ground ball was not turned into a double play. And Rocchio, his 9th home run of the year, started the onslaught. 4 home runs for Cleveland. 2 in the first, 2 here in the second. That's hit off the end of the bat to right field. Roden is there, and the side is retired. Homer and Halpin is first in the show. 6-2 Cleveland. Guardians on top. 3rd inning. Christmas in July. And it has felt like that for the Guardians bats tonight, delivering plenty of gifts to Tanner Bybee. Remember, he was the guy that could not catch a break, could not get a run of support for most of the early part of this season. So this truly has felt like Christmas morning for him.
I think it has. Again, for whatever reason, there's always one guy every year. Anything that could happen, does happen to Tanner Bybee. And you started to wonder in that first inning after Chase tries to make that play running in and it gets by him. Oh no, here we go again. But the bats have said not so fast.
Here's the 0-2 to Larnach. Second time through the order for Minnesota. Larnach struck out his first time up. That's foul. If you're Patrick Bailey, it goes beyond overstating the obvious that you want to go out here and keep the momentum on your side, get that shutdown inning. After what happened last inning, what do you do? What do you try to execute here to make sure that you get a 0.
You just continue to stick with your game plan. It's not like what he had before wasn't working. It just, maybe there was a little bit of a misplay in right field. They hit a couple of balls hard, but that's also going to happen, so I think you have to continue on with your game plan. I just think Tanner meaning, probably is breathing a little sigh of relief right now, just knowing, okay, the bats came to play today, so I don't have to necessarily be perfect.
Chris, that's what I was going to ask you. We all know that Bibby's got the least amount of run support in baseball. He's got to be looking up going, oh man, I can relax and pitch for once.
And I'm sure that is a little bit of a weight lifted off his shoulders, but he's still got a job to do. He can't necessarily think like that. He's got to go out there and attack.
Well, I never pitched in a big league game, but I would guess the stress of pitching every game, almost having to be perfect, can't be a fun way to pitch.
It's not at all. And again, I think you see that in a lot of these guys, knowing the bats are what they are this year, right? They've had to learn how to grind through some stuff. But when you're trying to be perfect with every pitch, it's very difficult.
Rocchio takes his time, makes a good throw, one away. That will bring up Byron Buxton, and infield single his first time up. Buxton coming off the injured list, and he said prior to this game, coming into Cleveland, it can't get any better. You can't have more exciting baseball coming for us. That's the way the Twins were maybe trying to talk themselves out of a disappointing weekend in Chicago. Both of these teams coming off interleague series right out of the break. Twins lost 2 out of 3 to the Cubs. Guardians lost 2 out of 3 to the Pirates. But because this game has divisional implications, it's a little easier to say, all right, what happened happened.
Right.
Let's put it in the rearview mirror. Let's get focused on this, because this is really important.
The game is so goofy, though. The Yankees are up 4-0 on the Pirates in the top of the second. So,
against their best pitcher,
right.
too.
Braxton Ashcraft going in that game for Pittsburgh. The rainout pushed him out of the series against Cleveland. And here's Cody Clemens. He flied to left on the only pitch he saw in the first inning. He had a 2-homer game at Wrigley Field Saturday. Clemens, I talked about how his productivity has helped this Twins lineup. He had an RBI in 6 consecutive games the first week of July.
Wow. Matt, he's 1 home run away from matching his career high, and it's not even August yet. What he's been able to do with his career in the last 2-3 years has been amazing.
Good pitch.
It just shows you everybody's path isn't linear. It's a lot of it's being in the right place at the right time, in the right situation.
Opportunity.
Yes.
I can tell you worked in the front office.
He's got all the big words working tonight.
Linear. He dropped linear.
That was a big word for me.
Induced vertical break.
Yeah, that one. I had to get my pen out and write it down.
Dre, we're going to need some.
You're welcome. You learn something new every day.
We're going to need some learning books up here.
I got to sleep at a Holiday Inn when I'm working with Chris, I see.
1 on, 1 out. A 2-ball, 2-strike count on Cody Clemens. He lifts it to left field, and Kwan barely had to move, makes the catch, 2 down. Guardians Twins continue the series tomorrow on Wednesday night, 6:40 start times. Thursday's finale, we got day baseball with a 1:10 start time. Get your tickets now at CLEGuardians.com. Big series. I mean, I know it's still July, but when Minnesota came in here, they were saying all the right things about the importance of this series. And look, they're still hunting. They're behind. They're
for sure.
A couple of games under 500. It's kind of the magic mark. You get to 500 or above it, and then you start looking at the front office going, all right, go make a move. Go get that guy we need to get us over the hump.
I'm glad you said it that way, because think about when they were here during the trade deadline last year.
Yep.
It's a whole different thought process over there, and they know how important this is, because you're right, they need to get to 500. But when they look at the wild card standings, they're in the hunt, boys. And that's got to be some motivation.
Swing and a miss by Josh Bell. The wild thing, though I just accidentally made a punt, But the wild card race, Minnesota's 2 games back. They're one of 6 teams within 4.5 games of that spot. So a lot of traffic, a lot to figure out in 2 weeks' time.
Well, Chris, as you talk as a guy that's been in the front office, how do you look in the mirror at yourself when you're not 500, but you're in it?
That's a very difficult aspect, because you don't want those guys in that clubhouse to give up on the season. And if, as a front office, you go out there and maybe subtract instead of, add somebody to this team, it can be very, very deflating.
Yes.
1-2 count on Josh Bill. Well, I think that's why Stephen Vogt, and I'm sure Derek Shelton would echo these sentiments. I like my team, he said.
Right.
I like this team. If they make a move, great, we'll deal with it. But we're not sitting on pins and needles saying, you better go make a trade, because they understand and recognize, A, how difficult that is, and B, it impacts the guys in that room right now.
It does.
The 2-2. Swinging a fly ball, shallow left. Kwan moving over toward the line. Makes the catch. Tanner Bybee, just what he needed. A 0 here in the 3rd. Rhys Hoskins, who is already homered, leads it off when we come back. Our Allstate Good Hands replay. Early on, it's been a barrage of home runs for Cleveland. Brian Arocchio, a 2-run shot. Rhys Hoskins followed him with a solo blast. Then Petey Halpin hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd. And 2 batters later, Travis Bazzana with a solo shot. All homers all the time. It's what they do.
That's exactly what they do the entire season.
Cleveland came in tied for 27th in all of baseball in home runs. And Hoskins hammers it high. It's deep, and it is gone to the bleachers. He's got a 2-homer night. And Joe Ryan has given up 5 homers for the 3rd time in his career.
Well, the boys might be moving up on that leaderboard here after tonight. Rhys Hoskins, 2 at-bats, 2 balls hit a long way.
They've got 99 homers. I'll let you finish it at home. You can finish it at home.
Can't get in trouble anymore.
Derek Shelton is probably as shell-shocked as Joe Ryan is.
No doubt. I mean, we were talking about all this trade chatter. The guy pitching right now is arguably one of the biggest trade chips on the market right now, and this ball just sails right back to down and in, and Rhys Hoskins was sitting there waiting.
Velocity fluctuates pitch to pitch throughout a ball game. I think the 1 home run Arocchio hit was 94. Bazzana's was 93. That last one to Rhys Hoskins was 91. Don't know if that might have been a 2-seamer.
That was definitely a 2-seamer. And again, his split that he's throwing has been around 90 as well.
1 away. They just haven't missed any mistake he has made in the middle of the plate. And look, it can happen to really good pitchers. It happened to Tanner Bybee earlier this year.
Absolutely.
Against Chicago. Was it Chicago? No, it was against
Atlanta.
Washington.
And Washington did the same thing.
Washington got him for 5 homers here. Just one of those nights, and Cleveland is all over it.
Well, that is the beauty of baseball. You go through a 3-game series now. Granted, Pittsburgh pitching staff pretty darn good, aside from maybe an area in their bullpen, but aside from 2 innings, the offense looked like it was lost. It had lost their direction. It had lost their ability to kind of figure out how to grind out at bats.
Strike 3 called. 2 down here in the 3rd.
Now you come into this game, and 5 homers later, everything's great again.
Twins general manager Jeremy Zoll maybe calling Chris Antonetti and Mike Chernoff about Rhys Hoskins' availability. He's hit 4 home runs now against Minnesota pitching this year.
Just how you draw it up.
Patrick Bailey, a bouncer to second. Cody Clemens will flip it over to first. The Guardians just keep on hitting homers. They've hit 5 of them in the first 3 innings tonight, and they lead it 7-2.
Amy Acton's medical.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too.
7-2, Guardians on top here, 4th inning. Royce Lewis to lead it off for Minnesota. He walked and scored in the second. Up to left field. Stephen Kwan's been busy.
Well, Tanner Bybee will take that.
It's already Kwan's 5th putout of the game. And a word now from Bet365.
Did you win?
Let's just say the next round of omelets is on me, fellas.
Bet $10, get $200 in bonus bets.
Victor Caratini flied to left his first time up. And a chopper foul. Got him looking. There's that 2-seam fastball. He ran it back over the inside corner. His 4th strikeout and 3 of them looking.
Perfect pitch. This is what we like to call a little ride back or front hip sinker. You can see the ball rotating off those 2 fingers. Perfectly executed right there. Outstanding job by Tanner Bybee.
Brooks Lee, he lined the ball to right field that went for an RBI triple in the second. It was a ball that DeLauder kind of rolled the dice on. He tried to go for the smother, and it got by him. And it enabled Minnesota to score 2 runs in the second. Tanner Bybee, undaunted, has held them in check since, while their offense continues to put runs on the board.
Chris, I'm just curious on the sequencing. I know Brooks Lee's a very good fastball hitter. Starting him off with back-to-back curves. Surprise you at all?
Not really. I mean, yeah, you have to mix it up the second time through anyway. He did hit a fastball the first at bat.
He's come back with 2 sinkers.
He has come back with 2 sinkers, but again, not forcing something that's running down and away. I think this was probably the plan of attack going into it.
In the hole and into right field. And Brooks Lee is 2 for 2.
I had a feeling that cutter was coming right after those 2 sinkers. He just didn't quite get it where he wanted it. He would love to have had that ball stay on that outer third. That ball crept back to the middle, and you can see a heck of an effort there from David Fry.
Knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly. And a ball hit the deep center. His only time up in the second.
We saw him last year, one of the main pieces acquired from the Toronto Blue Jays in the Louis Varland trade. Of the 10 Twins that were traded,
that one may hurt the most to those guys in that other dugout. They thought Varland was going to be in their bullpen for a long time. Because,
well, I mean, that's one of those that you feel like in order to acquire a guy like that that's got a lot of control left from a cost certainty standpoint, even though the Blue Jays, you feel like what has to come back has to be elite. And
well, he only had 2 hits in that series against Cleveland and Minneapolis, but everything was hard.
Didn't he have a walk-off against us too? I believe he had a walk-off his first game with the Twins against us when we were in Minnie.
Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, needless to say, Varland's turned himself into quite the reliever at the back end of the bullpen. And I think Derek Shelton would love to have him. Not that, you know, he doesn't enjoy Alan Roden here as well, but it looks a little different with Varland at the back end.
Going to left field. Didn't hit it hard, but Kwan racing over. He dives and makes the catch. Oh, the Gold Glover continues to dazzle. He just laid out, gave it everything he had, and it was just enough to snare the line drive and end the inning. Bottom half of the 4th inning brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ram dealers. Petey Halpin leads off. 2-run homer, his first time up, his first big league blast. How many pitchers could give up 5 home runs in the first 3 innings of a game and still come back out for the 4th? But Derek Shelton obviously understanding, hey, this is a 4-game series and you don't want to burn through your bullpen in game 1 if you don't have to. So he's just going to try to push Joe Ryan to eat up a couple more innings, hopefully.
And that's exactly what Joe Ryan knows his job is going into this. You can see, you look at his demeanor, he's probably a little bit more of a calm-mannered guy as it is, but he knows his job is to at least try to get this into the 5th inning here.
Calm-mannered.
Calm-mannered.
He looks like the last. He didn't even know there's a big league game going on. He is just. He's that just super, ice cool, chill guy.
And that can be good and bad.
There's a ball hammered again. Deep center field. Buxton's racing back. He will watch this one leave the yard. Oh, hallelujah, Halpin. A 2-homer game for Speedy Petey.
I think Christmas has a new meaning for Petey Halpin.
Wow. He will no longer be celebrating in December.
No. July 20th is Christmas from here on out for Petey Halpin. That is awesome. Better watch out, boys. Petey just got accustomed to wearing that hat.
A career high 6 home runs allowed by Joe Ryan.
Well, Joe tried to go up top. How about that for getting on top of a ball? Extremely impressive.
And now Stephen Kwan, he sends Larnach back onto the track and he pulls it down.
Wow. That ball was hit really well the opposite field by Stephen Kwan. I think Larnach's heart rate went up there just a bit. Again, they are playing extremely shallow. And it really only takes one time to burn somebody. And then you open up that front part of the left field for yourself.
For a team that has been in business for now 126 years, this is the first time ever they have hit 6 home runs in the first 4 innings of a game.
Wow. It's going to be a tough play.
And beats him to the bag. 2 down. Let that sit in a moment, folks. Let that set in for just a moment. We're not talking about the 95 innings,
that
the
is
97 innings. We're not talking about the 2016 team that went to the World Series. We're not talking about the 54 Indians or the 48 Indians or any of those great teams.
We're
This
talking
group
about
right here,
the offensive juggernaut that the 26 Guardians
entered play today, ranked dead last in the majors in runs per game.
Baseball's the greatest, isn't it? Because of course, that's how they would set the record.
There's still time to add on. Now,
that's the truth.
Look at you. You want more. You're greedy.
It's Christmas.
You're greedy.
I want another bag. Come on, baby.
Is there anything else under that tree for me?
I had something I was going to say. I forgot now. Oh, Joe Ryan, you said he's still in the game. Well, I think part of it for Derek Shelton, he only got 3 innings from his starter yesterday, and the bullpen had to pitch 5 innings. And as you said, in a 4-game set, you just pitch 5 innings with your bullpen. You take Ryan out now, and there'll be someone coming from St. Paul tomorrow.
There might be more than one.
Right, and probably one lefty.
Uh-oh.
Center field. Back is Buxton. He's going to have to play off the wall. DeLauter's digging for 2. The throw is not in time, and Chase DeLauter has himself his 2nd hit of the night, his 18th double on the year. And at some point, whether he wants to or not, Derek Shelton's going to have to get his bullpen going.
We might see a position player or two pitch in this baseball game.
Well, look at how he keeps his hands down.
It's unbelievable.
Amazing what he's able to do with his side.
I think the most impressive thing is how consistently hard he hits the ball to all parts of the park. It's not just pull-centric.
No, and he gets the good part of the bat on the ball, no matter if it's high, low,
I don't think he
inside.
knows what a bad part of the bat is.
I like to hit.
It's kind of his thing.
My thing. Exactly. Best quote of the year.
Check the swing. He went too far. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike. And Brian Rocchio.
Well, what do you think's on Rocchio's mind right now?
Big fly.
He wants more gifts too, baby. Come on.
Back out of play. Tell you what, that was a fastball. I mean, Joe Ryan. I think at some point you're out there going, I don't know what to throw.
Yeah, right. The funny thing is he continues to attack with the fastball, and I know it's what he does, but at some point you've got to make an adjustment.
There you go. Rocchio chases the curveball, and that ends the inning. Petey Halpin. His first home run of the big leagues was a 2-run shot in the 2nd. He's not done yet. He added a solo blast here in the 4th. (8-2) Guardians on top. 5th inning. And Ryan Kreidler will lead it off for the Twins. And Tanner Bybee with the first pitch strike. Tell you what, Chris, before this night's over, we might have a shot at history. The most home runs Cleveland has ever hit in a game is 8. It's been done twice. 1997, wow. Matt Williams had a 3-homer game at Old County Stadium in Milwaukee. The last time it happened, though, was back in 2004 when Travis Hafner went deep. Pronk went, he went big fly. Casey Blake went deep. Victor Martinez hit 3 home runs in that game. Wow. And our guy Benny Broussard also sent one into the cheap seats.
There he is.
Here's the bruiser. Come on, Benny. They're closing in on your team record. They've hit 6 so far tonight.
Is Benny listening to us?
That was in Seattle, by the way. Oh. Not exactly a home run hitting paradise.
No, not at all.
And it was a night game. I remember that.
Benny's locked in.
Yeah, he is.
Come on, Benny, give us a smile.
He's sitting next to Al. No wonder he's got his headphones in. Hi, Al.
Merry Christmas.
There we go.
There's a smile.
Payoff pitch to Kreidler, and he taps it foul.
I was going to get you for that.
Yeah, he is. I know he is.
Hey, by the way, in that game in Seattle, Victor Martinez with the 3 home runs was 5 for 5.
Ooh, Benny.
With 3 home runs. Benny Broussard, I don't know if he pinch hit in that game. He only had one at bat, and he went big fly.
That's all it takes
ready.
Sometimes.
He was ready. We were talking about that specific thing yesterday, too.
Line drive to left. Kwan is there. Pronk was 2 for 4 in that game. We have to ask him what happened in the other 2 at bats.
I'm going to text him right now because he's firing texts off at me, so why can't I text him?
Well, the Guardians got it started. A 2-run homer by Rocchio in the first. Hoskins followed back-to-back. Halpin a 2-run homer in the second. Bazana a solo jack. Hoskins led off the third with a solo homer. Halpin led off the fourth with a solo home run. Wow. 6 home runs. And the team record is 8. Trevor Larnach rips through it. Larnach go for 2.
Good pitch. A low dart with the 4-seamer. And that's what mixing those 3 fastballs that we talked about earlier can do for you.
Swing and a miss. Good changeup from Bybee. His 5th strikeout, 2 down here in the 5th inning.
Well, again, it looks like he may have gotten under this just a bit. That changeup did stay above the strike zone.
That's the one pitch, though, he's been working on that's changed because he's been using that sinker so much. So he doesn't have the feel for it he used to have, Chris.
Correct. Correct.
And you can see right there, he's going, ah.
He's like, hey, I'll take it. Thank goodness.
Now, Byron Buxton, who's making his first appearance since he came off the IL, did not get a rehab assignment. And we've talked about that possibly happening with Jose Ramirez possibly. Obviously, when you've been around the league for a while, I'm wondering, because Buxton's got right on, like he's got on base. Do veterans need rehab assignments?
Center field. Halpin makes the catch. We'll have the answer on the other side of the break. Disability Pride Night presented by Nestle is tomorrow. Guardians Twins. It'll be a night of celebration, education, and more. Full details and tickets available online. CLEguardians.com/disabilitypride. Our Sarah Auto Park pitching change here in inning number 5. Cody Funderburk on in relief of starter Joe Ryan, who was battered by the Guardians bats here tonight. Funderburk making his 28th appearance of the season. He's worked 25 innings. He has walked 18 and struck out 17 batters. Strike in there to Rhys Hoskins. He is 2 for 2 with 2 home runs. He and Halpin have both homered twice tonight. In the foul ground, no, back into fair territory. Cody Clemens almost had to back up to make that catch, and that is out number 1. Injury report brought to you by the injury attorneys at Elk & Elk. Angel Martinez continues his rehab assignment at AAA Columbus. 2 for 2, 2 doubles, also had a sac fly, played 7 innings. I think it's pretty obvious he's not far away from being ready to rejoin the club.
No, and this is great to see. Now you could see when talking to Stephen Vogt earlier before the game, his eyes lit up talking about Angel. I think everybody on this club is excited to have the opportunity to get him back and in this lineup every day.
You had a little time to talk about rehab assignments or no. Now that we had a break, you see what Buxton's been able to do without one. Can Jose Ramirez do the same in your eyes?
The answer is easy. It's yes. Now, part of that is because these guys are veteran players. They know their bodies. You know, Byron Buxton missed 9 games. You know, Jose's missed a few more than 9. But the reason that this becomes a lot easier in today's day and age is because there is certain types of technology now that, as we see Jose here getting it, but there's certain types of technology now that teams can utilize to help essentially take live at-bats in the batting cage.
You can literally simulate any starting pitcher you want.
You can simulate any starting pitcher you want, any pitcher in Major League Baseball. It's called a traject machine. They set it up in the batting cage, and essentially it's a green screen, but you can superimpose any pitcher on there you want, and the actual metrics of that pitch come out of the batting or come out of the machine. It really is impressive technology.
I've also heard veterans say, I'm not giving up any of my hits in the minor leagues.
That's also a good point.
Schneemann with a base hit right field. Daniel gets on the board. I think the other key to this with Jose Ramirez is that they trust him implicitly.
No
if he
doubt.
tells them, hey, I need a few swings at AAA, then you're going to AAA.
No doubt.
If he tells them, I don't need that, they trust him to say, okay, then he's ready to put it back in the lineup.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And Stephen Vogt has been, very open that Jose is going to drive this thing. To your point, Matt, if he needs to go down there, it's going to be off of him.
David Fry 0 for 2. By the way, talking about Cleveland, they've hit 6 home runs tonight. The record, franchise record, 8. Talked about the last time it happened was in 2004, and Benny Broussard's in the house. He was part of that home run barrage. The only other time it happened, 1997 in Milwaukee, when Matt Williams hit 3 that day. Sandy Alomar also went deep in that game. So the 2 guys who both homered in those games are both in the house tonight.
That's incredible.
So let's go, boys.
So one of those 2 guys needs to hit another homer. And I'm just looking up and down. Why not David Fry? It's his turn.
Oh, I thought you meant we're going to get Sandy and then go get Benny a uniform and have him get in there.
I'd trust Sandy right now. I would trust Benny too, for that matter.
Fry into left field, moving over Larnach. 2 down.
Yeah, I caught Sandy in the cages a couple years ago in Tampa. He can still hit line drives. Then he got mad at me that I was recording it.
Hey, man, old habits die hard.
Yeah.
Sandy locked in on his job, keeping a tight watch on Cody Funderburk. Even Daniel Schneemann, the insights. There goes Schneemann. Throw down. Not in time. Daniel Schneemann has his 6th stolen base of the year.
Well, this is a great jump. And again, this is stolen as much off the pitcher as it is the catcher, Victor Caratini. Caratini not known for his ability to really control the running game. But good strong throw nonetheless. Daniel Schneemann with a stolen base.
That's going into right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Around third, here comes Schneemann. He will score, and it's 9-2 Cleveland as Bailey has his 2nd hit of the night.
keys to the game, playing a little more guards ball like. There you go, right there.
I thought it was hit home runs. Wasn't that your key?
That's guards ball, isn't it?
It is tonight.
It certainly is tonight. Maybe off the end of the bat just a bit, but again, great job of finding a way to put a ball in play.
You just wonder, though, the Twins had a tough one yesterday in Chicago, and they've been rolling, right? You just wonder over in their dugout whether they're thinking to themselves, oh no, here we go again.
J.D. Halpin had a good pass at it. Fouling it back. They lost 10-1 to the Cubs yesterday. Zebby Matthews allowed all 10 runs. 8 earned in 3 innings of work. The middle it goes, cut off by the shortstop Kreidler. And that's in time to retire the side. Well, the Guardians lead it 9-2 through 5 here tonight.
And a blue moon.
All right, let's check out Hyundai in the driver's seat. The only other time in franchise history that Cleveland hit 5 home runs in the first 3 innings of a game was in 1994, and that group did it in the first 2 innings. They had 3 homers in the first, 2 more in the second. But look, it was a nail-biter. That was a game where Chicago had come right back with a big number and chipped away at Cleveland, hung on to win it by a final score of 9-8. Jack Morris, future Hall of Famer, started that game for Cleveland. Guess who else pitched out of the bullpen for Cleveland in that game? Jerry DiPoto, current GM in Seattle. On his way to the Hall of Fame, Jim Thome had his first 3-homer game that day.
I mean, 3 homers in a game, pretty tough feat to accomplish. But again, just another check mark in his career.
Cody Clemens 0 for 2 has fly to left twice tonight. And pitched. Not by much. Center field. Halpin on the move. And he runs it down. 1 away. And a word now from Levin.
Sink into unbeatable comfort with Lazy Boy recliners, starting at just $395 for an incredible selection of Lazy Boy. Shop Levin.
And Josh Bell looks at a 2-seam fastball. Ran a little high.
Boys, we were talking last inning about the Twins pitching situation. Matthews did not go deep in the game yesterday, as we were talking about. Now Joe Ryan has it, and they don't have a starter listed as tomorrow. Matt, there was some talk of possibly a bullpen game for them, so this isn't working well if that's the case for them.
Yeah, well, that goes under the heading of not ideal.
No.
Not ideal is right.
And they've had a couple of injuries that has really hurt their pitching depth. There's a line drive, and it just did get by Travis Bazzana. He made a nice effort, but again, Josh Bell, another example of a ball just hit right on the screws.
Yeah, he is certainly a professional hitter, and you can see him stay back. And again, trying to use that big part of the field and just out of the outstretched hands of Travis Bazzana.
just a little bit off the outside edge.
Well, that half swing right there shows you how late the movement is from Tanner Bybee there on that two-seam fastball. He's got a great feel for that opposite arm side of the plate today, that glove side of the plate with that pitch. That's a pretty good hitter in Royce Lewis, trying to stop a swing because he thought it was a ball the entire way.
And a line drive that finds a hole up the middle for Lewis. So back-to-back hard-hit singles by Minnesota here in the 6th with 1 out. And it brings up Victor Caratini.
Again, they were trying to go up, got it up there. Lewis was just able to get on top of that baseball. Smoke a ball into center field.
And that's going to bring up Victor Caratini, who is 0 for 2, has flat out struck out. Bybee just over 90 pitches.
Well, if you're Tanner, you're looking for a ground ball right here. Don't be surprised to see that two-seam fastball running on the outside part of the plate. You know, continuing to potentially use that cutter.
Right field, right at him. Barely had to move, 2 down. Tagging up and moving to third is Josh Bill. You know, if you think about Minnesota and the situation they're in, we talked about it a lot. And this is game 1 of a 4-game series, so a lot can happen before this thing's completed by Thursday. But Minnesota, Derek Shelton's club comes in. They're chasing. A little margin for error. It's not like they're in must-win mode, but every loss feels like it's double, I think, when you're in that kind of a situation. And then they get the news today that they're going to miss Mick Abel and David Festa for the rest of the season. So those were 2 starting pitchers that could have at least helped in the rotation or given them some depth. So that was what I was talking about before. They're between a rock and a hard place as the trade deadline approaches. And that's going to stay fair and get Bybee out of the inning. Twins get a couple of hits, cannot score. And as we head to the bottom of the 6th, Cleveland still leads by 7. Bottomless Bites tickets include a seat in the upper level, plus endless hot dogs, chips, popcorn, peanuts, and sodas. Bottomless Bites tickets are only available for select games, so visit CLEguardians.com/fan-values and get yours today. New pitcher for Minnesota, Tommy Nance, getting the call here in inning number 6. He's got the top of the Guardians order.
Well, you see the numbers there for Tommy Nance. This dude relies on chase, getting guys to chase outside the strike zone, and with Stephen Kwan, one of the best eyes in baseball at the plate. We'll have to see how this plays out.
Call to strike on the outside part of the plate, maybe.
Well, as good as Stephen Kwan has been at shooting the ball the other way, you can see the hot zones there. That up and away quadrant, not really that hot for Stephen Kwan. He loves the ball in, can shoot that ball, direct that baseball towards left field, and obviously has done a great job on that down and away pitch.
You know, you made a great point about his timing and him getting the right angles when he's hitting now and why we've seen him hit better. But we also talk about the pitches you get and why you get them. And it seems like people saw that he was trying to pull the ball and hit home runs, and they were pitching away from him. And how much did those numbers play into that we just saw? Because he always was a good hitter the other way before really this season. And he hasn't been getting pitches inside anymore, Chris.
Well, you're going to see that'll change just the ebbs and flows of the season, but what I want you to take a look at is look at that 136, 167,
the 167
on
is the
that
one
outer
that
third of the
surprises
plate.
me. The 167
Exactly.
does.
But when he was potentially trying to pull the baseball, that's where he was getting thrown.
Right.
A leadoff walk. That's the first free pass issued by Minnesota pitching tonight. And that will bring up Travis Bazzana. He singled in the first and homered in the second.
Well, with the night he's got going so far, he's keeping the song, at least for tomorrow.
Might have a chance for a cycle still.
It's a good call.
Just had a triple the other day, right?
He certainly
Let's
did.
get another one here.
Tommy Nance allowed 5 home runs in 33 innings of work with Toronto before coming over to Minnesota. This is just his 3rd appearance in a Twins uniform.
Well, I mentioned he relies on Chase. About 70% breaking balls he throws, whether it's the slider or the curveball.
If he relies on Chase, he's on deck, so he's going to wait to face him.
Oh, you too.
Now the 2-1. Nice pitch.
Another pitcher's pitch there. Good take by Trav. It's always fun when you face a pitcher and nothing he throws is straight.
Back out of play.
What do you lock in on when you have a guy like this that's throwing nothing but wrinkles?
Yeah, you just got to look up.
Okay.
Well, there's Bazzana with that home run there in the second inning. Again, that pitch was up, out over the plate.
Down low and a full count.
And the reason you look up is to make sure that you see that pitch right there. Loves to throw the curveball with 2 strikes in particular, but again, there's a lot of depth on that pitch.
Hard hit ground ball to second. Clemens slipped and fell down, and the ball went into right field. One on his way to third, and he's in there standing. Guardians at the corners, nobody out. Clemens was in perfect position, and then his feet gave out from under him.
I'm not so sure that that ball didn't kick back on him.
Weird hop to it.
Just based on his reaction, you can see
it kicked right.
That ball kicked right on him, and yeah, he did slip just a bit, but he immediately looked. I don't know if that hit a cleat mark or possibly the corner of the grass, something like that, but you can see that ball kind of shoots to his right ever so slightly.
Chase DeLauder 2 for 3, has singled and doubled. And takes a strike. Good take right there. You mentioned earlier how crazy this game is, and how difficult it is to predict. The 2-1 to DeLauder is lined into center field. He's got himself his 3rd straight hit, and it's 10-2 Cleveland. RBI number 48 for Chase.
Well, when hitting's your thing, it is your thing, because this is a beautiful thing. This ball's up, running back to the heart of the plate. Didn't get the most barrel on it, but again, that short, clean swing with the thought process of staying to the big part of the field and just keeping your barrel inside of something. That is a beautiful thing.
2-1, nobody out. And Brian Rocchio takes a pitch up high. But think about this for a second. Just a little over 24 hours ago, the Guardians played arguably their worst game of the season. Where nothing went right. Mental mistakes, lackadaisical effort at times, just not a good day at the yard. And they come out tonight and they look like world beaters.
Well, you know, I think it was addressed in the clubhouse after the game, first and foremost. And, you know, I think Stephen Vogt has to take some accountability for that. And again, it is a long season and you don't want to get too caught up on one game, but you also don't want a trend to start happening. And you certainly, if you want to nip it in the bud, you certainly do not want that to be the new norm or for it to be considered okay to play like that.
It takes great leadership as well. I know Stephen Vogt took a lot of it on himself, but I know having some players that can kind of police their own clubhouse, right?
100%. And Vogt has been a part of a lot of clubhouses where the players take care of everything. And that man right there was brought in to be one of the leaders.
Ooh, spun him out of there. Up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But as crazy as this sounds, is this ball was really close to hitting Rocchio here. Sometimes a bad game like that can almost be a bit of a rallying cry. It can be hopefully a low point.
Down and in he goes to get the strikeout, first out of the inning. Check out our Chevy drive of the game. Rhys Hoskins. He's driving a Cadillac. That's what home run hitters do.
Might be driving a Maserati after tonight. Both of these balls were absolutely hammered. And again, with that thump in the heart of the lineup, can't ask for much more out of Rhys Hoskins.
Rhys Hoskins. Oh man, he got decked. Second one in as many at bats. And that's so, but tell you what,
he's not happy about it. Yeah.
Rhys felt that was a purpose pitch. And he tells Victor Caratini, who's been around the block.
And I do believe they were former teammates.
But Chris, you've been in that situation before at this ballpark. I've watched it.
Thanks for reminding me.
Instagram reminds me like once a week.
How about Joey Cantillo reminded me of that today? He came up to me, he's like, hey man, I didn't know you were the catcher in that video. He's like, yeah, that was me.
Matt, once a month I send that to him. I'm like, I just found something new in that
Literally,
video.
he does. You and everybody else on planet Earth.
I find new things.
Hey man, I was trying to stick up for my teammate.
You did a great job.
Billy Butler, if you're out there, Chris really feels bad about that.
No, he doesn't. I'll speak for him.
2 on, 1 out, 1-2 count. Now back out of play.
I think too, with Nance in particular, obviously I don't necessarily think he was trying to go up towards the head. He may certainly have wanted to make Rhys aware that he wasn't going to be able to just lean out over. We talked about how many breaking balls he throws.
The way he pitches, he has to come inside.
Correct.
Right? You got him. Got him with a curveball. And there are 2 down. So after a walk and back-to-back singles, back-to-back strikeouts, and Daniel Schneemann now steps in. Singled and scored his last time up. Guardians had 8 runs on 10 hits through the first 4 innings. A barrage of homers.
Well, you see right there, not too many zeros on that bottom half. That is not only just a beautiful thing, that is something you strive to do every single day.
Well, they came out bombing from 3-point range, and now they're just running the picket fence out.
It's all right. Don't stop now. Keep those good vibes rolling.
Here's the 1-1. A little high. And a challenge.
Pitcher's rule is the ball, the catcher's challenging.
Daniel Stevenson, really? You're going to challenge that?
It's like, it's a bit high.
Pitches the ball.
Minnesota
has one challenge remaining.
Close pitch, and it's 3-1.
Well, that was a good take because he swung at that pitch, the first pitch of the at-bat. So that tells me he's able to see that ball. He realized, okay, that's not where I need it to start. If I'm going to swing at that pitch, it's got to start in a different area.
And that's ball 4. And that'll load the bases for David Fry.
Good at-bat there by Daniel Schneemann. Again, you start to get him seeing the baseball. We know how hot he can be at times. Very difficult to be a part-time player and keep that momentum going. But sometimes a walk, a knock and a walk like this can get you going.
We'll get a word right here from Wayside Furniture.
Refresh your outdoor space with stylish savings at below market pricing. Shop Wayside Furniture in Akron, keeping it local since 1937.
The batter is David Fry. Travis Pisano, the runner at third base. Chase DeLauder's over at second. Daniel Schneemann's down at first. Fry is fouled out, struck out, flied out. Fry, the only Guardian starter that has not reached so far tonight.
See if he could change that right here.
One ball and 1 strike.
Talking about where, the night for Joe Ryan ended, just 4 innings pitched. This bullpen, Nance now at 34 pitches here.
Gets ahead on the slider, 1-2. And a ground ball hit it up the middle, a diving stop, and a flip to second in time to end the inning. That was a spectacular play by Kreidler, just to stop the ball, let alone get the flip to Clemens to end the inning. Guards tack one on, and after 6, they lead it 10-2. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Guardians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Guardians. Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen made here in inning number 7 for Colin Holderman. 37th appearance of the year for Holderman as he faces Alan Roden leading off the 7th for Minnesota. Great job by Tanner Bybee tonight.
Yes, sir.
He went 6 innings, 2 runs allowed, walked 1, struck out 5. Most important and maybe impressive of all, especially when you have the lead like they gave him early tonight. Tommy Bowe said only twice did he get to a 2-0 count on a batter. So he was in attack mode, which is what you should be.
That's exactly what you should be.
And he did a really good job of being efficient. And he gave Stephen Vogt 6 strong innings of work. I think sometimes, Chris, you come out of the All-Star break, and because every team has just had 3-4 days off, a lot of games are stacked up consecutively. And so all it takes is one game to go sideways, and then you get, especially at the start of a 4-game series like this. And now the Twins are going to be in, all right, who's available to call up? Who can we, they may be doing some roster shuffling throughout the series to keep their bullpen fresh.
I would imagine that's exactly what will happen. You mentioned a few of the guys, that they've had here this season that have been hurt, that aren't available to them. It puts a little extra strain on it. Plus, again, that looming trade deadline is 2 weeks from today.
And I was reading, in fact, I think it was Minnesota's general manager, Jeremy Zoll. And I'll read that to you in a second. It was an interesting comment that he made as the payoff pitch to Rodin is low ball 4. He said the reality is that a lot of this trade deadline stuff doesn't really crystallize until the final week of the deadline. He said teams aren't really making those declarations until the last possible minute. And so in turn, you need the full market to develop to be able to have these things to even happen. So we're continuing to evaluate and monitor. But, a team like Minnesota, for example, they might be right now today thinking, what can we go get? And in 6 days' time could be doing a complete reversal and saying, all right, now we need to think about moving some pieces. And
that happened to us in 2017. We added Jaime Garcia from the St. Louis Cardinals as a starter. And 6 days later, on the trade deadline, ended up trading him to the Yankees. He made one start for us in Oakland at the time, pitched well, and we had lost a few games with those 6 games leading up to the trade deadline, and ended up flipping him and Brandon Kinsler and Ryan Presley, which, and we still somehow made the playoffs. But we also used that as a rallying cry. And again, it wasn't anybody's fault per se. It's just the nature of the beast.
Well, it's kind of like the Tigers a couple of years ago, Dre.
Oh, yeah. When
they made, who did they trade?
They traded the pitcher,
the left-hander. Not the left-hander, Jack Flaherty. They traded Flaherty to the Dodgers, and they still got in the playoffs.
Yeah, they went nuts after that trade.
And actually, with how jumbled up the league is right now and how close everybody is.
A good week changes everything.
A good week changes it, and a bad week changes it in the other way. But you may see contending teams trade with each other and trying to, maybe trade contracts or something like that and kind of a contend for a contend type trade.
I think the conundrum that Minnesota's going
That's a big word.
Oh, boy, here we go. Conundrum now. I tell you what, I need a dictionary.
Hey, man, we got to keep up with you. You bring up some words I've never heard of either now. But I think the conundrum, now I can't say it, the conundrum that they come with is their starting pitching situation, as you were talking about earlier.
Yep.
They already are down to 4 starters right now. They're hoping the young lefty that we saw when we were in Minnesota can come back who had the blister. But if he doesn't, if he doesn't, guys, they need starting pitching.
Yes, they do.
And that puts you in a weird spot. If you don't have enough starting pitching, can you contend? I think we all know the answer.
Well, I think if you need starting pitching, I mean, everybody wants another starter. I don't mean it like that. I just mean if you're the Twins in this scenario, and you have a massive trade chip in Joe Ryan, and you still need pitching, that might tell you your direction right there.
Big bouncing ball. It gets by Manzardo and goes into right field, and that'll get a run home as Alan Rodin trucks around third and scores. Trevor Larnach beat it into the ground, but they got a nice kangaroo hop into right field.
And Manzo just fresh into the game, couldn't quite corral that.
Number 16, Austin Martin.
Just off the end of the glove there, and not much Travis Pizzana could do.
We got a pinch hitter now for Byron Buxton, as Austin Martin will pinch hit. And a ground ball up the middle. Pizzana will step on second, throw to first. Double play. Stretch time in Cleveland. 10-3 Guards.
So I hammered the rudder.
Guardians face the D-backs coming up at the end of July. Enjoy Sugardale Dollar Dogs, $2 Miller Lite pregame, and a postgame fireworks show presented by Gusto. Get your tickets today at CLEGuardians.com. Hey, on this day, Hank Aaron hit the final home run of his Hall of Fame career, number 755.
I can't even fathom thinking about hitting that many home runs. That is an incredible career.
I tell you what, Hank Aaron never hit 50 home runs in a single season.
That's even more amazing. How consistent you have to be.
The most he ever hit was 47 at the age of 37. He had 11 seasons of 100 runs batted in or more, 10 seasons of 30 or more doubles, 13 consecutive seasons of 100 or more runs scored, and he never struck out 100 times in a single season.
That might be the most impressive part of that stat package you just read.
Patrick Bailey blasting one to deep center and back to the wall, leaping, it is gone! Austin Martin couldn't get it. Patrick Bailey puts the Guardians one shy of the franchise record. They've hit 7 on the night. It's Bailey's 3rd hit of the night and his 4th homer of the season.
I'm pretty sure we just guaranteed ourselves tomorrow is Christmas in the park as well. 7 now for the Guardians. Patty Bailey on the board. What a fantastic swing from Patrick Bailey. Good to give the catchers a little love too. They got to get involved in this.
And now Patrick Bailey steps in. And he went swinging for the downs, came up empty on a slider down and in.
Well, this is a middle fastball, and Patrick knew he got it.
Big part of the yard, though.
Big part of the yard, but he's used to hitting in a pretty big yard out in San Francisco. Again, there's nothing better than knowing when you get a ball, it's going to go. And we saw that the other night with Chase and how the wind was blowing in and his facial expression. Again, they're playing picket fence baseball.
Drilled to deep right field. One hops the fence. Down goes Roden. Into second, standing with a double is Petey Halpin, his 3rd hit of the night. And I mean, he absolutely barreled that ball up.
This ball was hit very well. This is a spinner that stays up and out over the plate. Petey Halpin hammered it. You see Roden goes down right there. Easy stand-up double for Petey Halpin in his 3rd knock of the night.
I tell you what. Here's Kyle Manzardo. If we get another chance at that replay, you just got to watch the eyes of Petey Halpin. It looks like a cartoon. You talk about the eyes getting wide.
He's intense. He's ready to go.
Manzardo drills it. That's hit to deep right field. That's going to one-hop the wall. Roden again in chase. And Halpin will stop at 3rd. He had to hold up to be sure that Roden wouldn't catch it because Manzo hit it so hard that he's only able to advance to 3rd base.
Well, Petey immediately went back to tag after this ball. Had a little bit of topspin on it. And again, somebody didn't start the game. Kyle Manzardo coming in with a big rip. That had to feel good. He's been up against it too. Stephen Vogt talking about that before the game. Trying to just give him a mental breather today. Finds himself in the baseball game.
Travis Bazzana already 3 hits on the night. And he tops it foul. Caught the outside corner. Bazzana will challenge it.
Pitcher's rolled a strike. The batter's challenging.
This is going to be close. And it did. Just.
Pitcher's strike, counts 0-2. Cleveland has 1 challenge remaining.
Hit the outside corner. You can see Trav apologizing to the group.
Fouled right back. Lozano trying for his second 4-hit game. He has 2 singles and the home run back in the 2nd inning. Bites it off.
Good job right there. Tough pitch down and in. Little slider kind of barreling towards the bottom of the strike zone.
That home run, by the way, by Patrick Bailey equals the club record for homers in a game here at home. They did that back in 2013 against Philadelphia. But in both instances in which they hit 8 homers in a game, they were both on the road, at Milwaukee, at Seattle. Way out in front of it. Good curveball by Woo-Suk Go. Chase DeLauder has 3 consecutive hits in the game. It started with a single in the 2nd, then a double in the 4th, and then a line drive single to center that drove in a run in the 6th inning. DeLauder, like his teammate Travis Bazzana, trying for his second 4-hit game of the year, and he jolts one deep right center field, off the wall. 2 more will score. DeLauder's second 4-hit game of the year, and the Guardians up 13-3.
Well, he didn't miss hitting this ball out by much. This is another ball that was just absolutely hammered by Chase DeLauder. Another spinner that kind of stays up. Chase was all over it. Takes this ball to the bullpen. And off that wire fencing there just in front of the bullpen. Again, not missing the 8th home run by much.
And now Brian Rocchio, a 2-run homer in the 1st. Since then, he has flied to right and struck out twice.
Well, so far in this inning, just 1 out. But there have been 4 balls. Patrick Beatty, Petey Halpin, Kyle Manzardo, and now Chase DeLauder all hit over 103 miles an hour off the bat.
Cleveland with a season high 18 hits. 1 run shy of their season high when they scored 14 out in Sacramento against the A's. And that's a strike.
Pitcher's roll to strike. The batter's challenging.
Not sure he was really committed to that.
A slow motion strike 3 called, followed by an immediate challenge. ABS powered by T-Mobile, and Rocchio.
Pitches a strike. Strike 3. Cleveland's out of challenges.
2 down. And Rhys Hoskins. Rhys Hoskins homered in his first 2 at-bats. Has popped up, struck out since then. Scores from around the league, courtesy of Bet365.
As we go around with those scores, the Boston Red Sox, you guys have been talking about the trade deadline. Talk about fortunes changing in a 2-week period of time. Everybody thought you were going to be able to trade with their guys. They're looking for their 14th win in a row tonight, boys. They're down right now 5-4 in the 7th inning to Baltimore. Think about how things have changed for them. We were all thinking that Contreras may be on the trade.
Right.
Their closer, Chapman. But now all of a sudden, they think they're in it.
They don't think they're in it. They are in it.
I hear you. And all it took was 2 weeks of really good play.
Yeah, and those 2 teams in particular have won 20 games in a row, as Baltimore is on a 7-game winning streak of their own.
When they won their 12th straight, it put them a game over 500 for the first time since the first game of the season.
It's amazing.
It's opening day. Wow.
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody, including 9/10 of the people in that clubhouse, wrote them for dead.
Fly ball, center field, moving over. Austin Martin makes the catch. Another home run for Patrick Bailey. And the Guardians have hit 7 on the night, 1 shy of the single game franchise record. 13-3 Cleveland. Our progressive defensive play of the game. Who else but the Gold Glover himself, Stephen Kwan, laying out and snaring a potential hit and ending the inning.
That's a 4-time Gold Glover right there, making a fantastic play towards the line.
Cody Clemens cuts and misses. Matt Festa into the ball game now as the 3rd Cleveland pitcher of the night. 42nd appearance for the right-hander. Colin Holderman worked the 7th inning. And it's up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cody Clemens flied out to left twice and then lined out the center his last time up. Defensively, Cody Clemens kind of personified the night it has been for Minnesota, because way back in the 1st inning, a smash off the bat of Chase Delauder went right at him and he couldn't turn the double play. He did get an out, but had he fielded it cleanly, it would have been an easy ending double play. And then the Guardians hit back-to-back home runs right after that. And then later in the game, not much later than that, there was a ground ball hit to him that hit something in the infield and took a 90-degree turn on him, and it went for a base hit, and he was just sitting there turning around like, what's going on?
What do I got to do today?
Yeah. Some nights are like that, where as they say, the baseball gods are sometimes with you, sometimes they're not. And Josh Bell cuts and misses. He was trying to get in on some of that home run action.
I think that's kind of the beauty of baseball too, is you can have a game like the Guardians had yesterday, like the Twins are kind of having today, and you have to be able to turn the page and flush it as fast as you possibly can, because guess what, you got another one tomorrow, and you can't sit there and sulk on it or think about it too much, or then it starts to carry on.
Well, let me ask you one more thing about that, though. I think it's one thing to have a game like tonight if you're Minnesota, where you just got your face beat in. Sure. Like, you just didn't have a chance from the get-go, right? They blooded your nose and then pushed your nose down into the mud, and you just had to deal with it.
You had to wear it.
Yesterday, for Stephen Boat's club, it was an ugly game. As this ball's blooped towards 3rd. Oh my gosh. I don't think I have ever seen a hit like that in my life. Josh Bell's going to turn that into a double. That is the weirdest looking swing and contact and result I think I've ever seen.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I don't know if this ball didn't hit the bat twice. Like, you could see Daniel Schneemann,
it didn't get
off the bat. It looked like he was going to have to go, and I mean, just out of his reach there at 3rd base. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Josh isn't going to apologize for
all.
that, but that's a weird one. And if the Twins were winning right now, there might be some joking and some good banter coming from the Twins dugout. That's off the trademark.
It is, yeah. He's not going to be able to use that bat next at bat.
What's your exit velo?
47.3.
Yes.
Not sure you could have thrown that ball any better either.
Well, anyway, getting back to the point, it's one thing if you're the Twins, you have a game like this. It may be a little easier to just chalk it up to, hey, boys, it just wasn't our night. Right. And they just beat us, and let's reset, come back tomorrow.
It's easier to handle that.
But yesterday for Cleveland, it needed to be addressed. Maybe it was not every guy, but there was enough going on, weird stuff that, well, hey, we need to address this maybe and just talk it out and make sure, hey, guys, that was not who we are. And let's make sure we come back tomorrow better, right?
I think, too, you know, that had to happen, to your point. But with this club being such a young club, or having a lot of young core pieces to it, this is where the coaching staff, the veterans in that clubhouse, have to kind of put your arms around certain guys and say, listen, you know, either this is not acceptable, this isn't how we do it here, or we need to start thinking of situations, or start thinking the game of baseball. You know, we get so enamored with exit velocities and swing speeds and, you know, velo and all this stuff, when really the core principle of baseball is still the game. You have to know how to play the game within the game.
It comes down to effort and to your point, situational awareness. What is the situation? You know, what are we playing in, or are we playing back? How many outs are there? All those little things, but you have to be aware of before the ball's put in play.
Yeah. And again, it's just, sometimes you have to learn those lessons the hard way, and you hate for that to happen because it potentially costs you games like it did yesterday. But, you know, it's one thing to make those mistakes and not learn from it. You hope that never happens. You have to learn from that, and now you hope a situation like that arises again, that somebody's going to make a different decision.
Victor Caratini takes a strike. Caratini has flied out twice and been called out on strikes. First of 4 between Cleveland and Minnesota. Same two teams tomorrow night and Wednesday night. 6:40 game time. Series wraps up Thursday with a day game. And as we all know, as the calendar starts to wind down in July and start looking at August, I mean, we are, every game takes on, every series in particular takes on added importance.
When you think about it, 62 games left. It's hard to believe how quick it goes.
Carl Willis made a good point yesterday, saying that when you get to this point in the year and you're in it, it flies by. Drilled to right, down the line, and it's a fair ball in the corner. That's going to get a run home as Bell scores. Caratini hustling into second. Gets there safely with a 2-out RBI double. 4th run of the night for Minnesota.
Well, Vic did a good job of keeping this ball fair. He put it on the barrel. Ball was off the fence. Chase did a great job, though, of understanding the carom that ball was going to create. Comes up, barehands it, makes a good strong throw into second base.
2 down, and Brooks Lee, the batter, 2 for 3 on the night. Carl was answering that question yesterday in response to, hey, with some of the young pitchers you have, you know, how close an eye do you keep on the innings thresholds, and how do you maybe alter the rotation to make sure everybody stays fresh and strong down the stretch? And he said, you'd be surprised when you're in it like this how fast these last 2 months can fly by. But he said, look, after this stretch of games here, we have some off days. It'll give us a chance to reshuffle the deck of the rotation, because they have to be mindful of not just a young pitcher like Parker Messick and his innings, but Tanner Bybee and Gavin Williams as well.
Again, you know, in order to go where you want to go, those guys have to be healthy.
Got to be strong down the stretch. Twins get a run back here in the 8th, but it's all Guardians tonight. Alex Jackson pitching now for Minnesota. Alan Jackson, the country singer, he's getting ready.
He's getting ready across the street. Yeah.
So Alex Jackson making his second appearance as a pitcher this year. He's just going to try to chuck him in there. Daniel Schneemann grounds to short. One away. Key plays of the game. It's been a home run barrage. The Guardians have hit 7, equaling the franchise record for home runs in a home game, 1 shy of the franchise all-time record for a single game. And these will be their last swings in pursuit of that hallowed record.
Well, they will be the ones providing the power on this, because you can see these are fun. The velocities don't even read. And again, these are arguably some of the harder at bats you have as an offensive player, because you're kind of darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. You're supposed to get a hit off a position player, but it is obviously very difficult to do so.
Well, he's not even throwing like BP style. He's
no,
just
it's significantly slower than that.
Almost like an ephus pitch. He's just really.
This is a little slow pitch softball, a little beer league softball right here.
A slow lob. Look at that, 2019, last time the Guardians scored in each of the first 7 innings of a game. Last time they did it at home was in 1930 against the A's.
Well, I don't know about you, but I wasn't around then.
What was that? That little sidearm deal. Patrick Bailey, he has 3 hits on the night, including a home run.
He tried to throw a heater. I like it.
Okay.
See? That's what you got to do. You got to
smiling.
You got to lull him to sleep.
He's like, okay, I see you.
Is this something I can speak a little to?
Oh,
that might be a knock.
At the end of the bat. Bailey's running hard. He's got himself a 4-hit night. And when he's sitting in a rocket chair sometime, he'll just say it was 4 hits. You want to tell him about that?
It doesn't matter. Hey, none of that matters.
Look at that. He was trying to hit that one into the bullpen.
Well, that's kind of what you're supposed to do off a position player.
Wow. He probably cut that ball in half.
I bet he did. Uh-oh.
Petey Halpin.
Now they're throwing at him.
Halpin with 2 homers, a double. 3 runs scored.
Well, just because I know you want to know what the exit velocity on that one was?
Oh, would that have gotten you a ticket in the school zone?
Yeah, but just barely, by 2 miles an hour.
It's all right, Patty. It was a line drive in the box score.
It's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. Uh-oh.
High fly ball. Right field. Not enough. Roden is back just onto the track. And the bid to tie the franchise record falls a little bit short. Guardians take on the Arizona Diamondbacks August 1st, and 15,000 fans receive a Cade Smith bobblehead courtesy of Pepsi. Also $2 Miller Lite pregames and postgame fireworks show presented by Honda. Get your tickets at CLEGuardians.com. Sean Armstrong on to pitch the 9th for Cleveland. $22,501 can say they saw the game in which Cleveland tied the franchise record for most homers in a home game.
Well, it has been a fun night to say the least.
Left field, David Fry. 1 down.
Again, you just hope this is the kind of night that can really ignite an offense. Some guys get their confidence back up. You just hope this is something that can be carried on into the next couple of days, and from there it just snowballs.
Anybody in attendance can also say they were there for a game when something else that happened, fairly rare occurrence. So Petey Halpin hit 2 home runs in a game in which it included his first home run.
That's right.
Chase DeLauder also did that earlier this year in Seattle. Wow. Kyle Manzardo did it 2 years ago in a game against the Pirates. Big Ernie Clement did it back in 21 in a game against Detroit. Then you got to drop back a little bit into the archives. Herbert Perry, 1995 against the Yankees. Manny Ramirez also did it in 1993 against the Yankees.
He almost had 3 that game, I think, too, because he hit a double that he thought was a home.
Are you saying that was the original Manny being Manny?
That's the start of it.
A season high 19 hits for Cleveland.
Pitch was ruled a strike. The batter's challenging. Pitch is a strike. Counts 0-1. Minnesota 0 challenges remaining.
There's a ball down the left field line. That's going to stay fair for Trevor Larnach. And he'll head into second base with a 2-out double. And he's 2 for his last 2. Before Austin Martin makes his way to home plate. According to our friends at Sport Radar, Brandon Warren forwarded this to us. The first Cleveland player to hit 2 homers in the same game in which he hit his first career home run was Lou Boudreau in 1940 against the Tigers. Brett Boone's grandfather, Ray Boone, also did it 1949.
I had no idea that was
at Fenway Park against the Red Sox.
I didn't realize that was such a thing.
Yeah, according to this list, 1, 2. Petey Halpin's the 12th player in franchise history.
That's amazing.
Andre's favorite player, Louis Funky Cold Medina, did it back in 1988. I know you know Louis Funky Cold Medina.
Yes.
Yeah,
Funky Cold Medina.
What were you, 10?
Yeah, but that's where my voice got
right.
Deep.
That's right. Austin Martin awaits the pitch, and it's fouled back to 2-2.
I mean, just think how often you know, guys have 2 home runs in a game. It doesn't happen very often. The fact that 12 individuals have done it for their first ever major league homer is quite astounding.
And Arch, if you're listening, your old teammate Jack Brohammer also is on that list.
Brohammer. That's a name.
That is a name. When I walk in, I want to be Brohammer.
Yeah, me too.
Two balls and 2 strikes with 2 down in the ninth. Up and away, full count. So ball 4. We'll bring up Cody Clemens.
So the second baseman is Cody Clemens.
There he goes, back in the strike zone, 1-1. And a swing and a miss.
Good one right there, too.
Armstrong ready. And the 1-2 pitch. Back out of play. Stay tuned. Guardians postgame coming up next. Al Pawlowski and Ben Broussard have the highlights, recap all the action, and Ben will get the gloat that his team is still on top. His 0-4 team still has the record they share with the 97 ball club. He and Prunk can breathe easy. The 1-2. Book it. The Guardians take the series opener from Minnesota by a final score of 13-4. Cleveland goes to 53-48 on the year, while Minnesota falls to 49-52. Tanner Bybee gets the win. It's his 4th of the season. The loss to Joe Ryan. He falls to 6-6. Ryan giving up a career high 6 home runs in the onslaught tonight as Cleveland ran out to a big early lead and never looked back.
Well, I'm sure this is a night that Joe Ryan would like to forget as soon as he possibly can, but give the Guardians offense a lot of credit tonight. This was up and down the lineup from Petey Halpin all the way to Stephen Kwan in that leadoff spot. These guys needed a night like this, and they came out and they showed out.
Andre Knott is attempting to corral Speedy Petey. That will be no small feat in and of itself for a post-game interview. Rangers lead the White Sox currently 2-1. They're in the 5th inning down in Texas. Should Texas hang on, the Guardians would move back into a tie for first place in the Central Division, and that's hopefully the way it's going to be the rest of the season, right? Just kind of watching those games and our games, and it's going to be
that's a great thing.
You would expect a fun final 60.
You certainly should. Anytime you're this late into a season, again, I know it's still July, but you have an opportunity to scoreboard watch. You're doing something right as a group.
Guardians with 13 runs, 1 shy of their season best, but a season high 19 hits, powered by 6 home runs in the first 4 innings, and then they tacked 1 more homer on in the 7th inning.
Well, they scored in every inning but the last, the only one they didn't face an actual pitcher in.
Yeah, it took Alex Jackson, a position player, to come in and shut him down.
Probably
I told you it is no easy feat to get Speedy Petey, but Andre has corralled him, and let's go downstairs to our man Dre.
Thanks a lot, guys. We call you Speedy Petey, but tonight you were able to use the long ball, and I'm going to keep talking so they can get us weird and we get all lined up. But Petey, you went through some swing changes in the offseason. What put you through that, and how nice is it to see it pay off?
It's great. I'm trying to shorten everything up, do my job, get on base for the other guys, and it was nice to see some balls go over the fence.
But the other thing that I would go through, and we're going to show your first home run. They're going to show it up there on the big board. I want to see your reaction because you're going against a guy with a high fastball that gets by a lot of guys. What did you work on to be able to do that?
Just trying to keep a simple approach and, stay short to the ball, and got a ball over the heart of the plate, and good things happen.
I'm going to make a mistake on this, but you're the 12th player in the history of this organization to hit 2 home runs the night you hit your first career home run, and Chase DeLauder and Cal Manzardo did it, so you got some bragging rights when you go inside.
That's pretty cool. It's a cool thing to hear.
Now, the second one was above your head. Look at that. How did you get up to that one?
I don't know. That was awesome.
It's awesome, but after the weekend you guys had, how important was it for you guys to bounce back, especially going against the team in the AL Central?
Yeah, it was a good win. It was a lot of great at bats put together, and we got the win. So let's keep rolling.
Let's keep rolling, and remember this night for a long time. Great job tonight, Peter.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back up you go.
All right, thanks, Dre. Thanks to Petey Halpin as the Guardians win it in convincing fashion tonight in the series opener. 3 more to go. We're back tomorrow night with game 2 of this series, but stay tuned now. Guardians post game. Ho, ho, ho. Al Pawlowski and Ben Broussard are next.